Hey, what's going on? It's Wayne here from 97.1 ZHT iHeartRadio with the one and only Dua Lipa.
Hi, Wayne. How are you?
I am doing fantastic and so excited to be able to sit with you right here at the Depot before your concert.
Oh, I'm so excited that you're here and that you took some time to chat to me.
I love it. And you just barely were at SNL Studios Saturday performing.
Yeah.
Talk about a huge opportunity.
It's honestly such a milestone for me, and I guess for so many artists, and I feel so lucky and grateful to have had the opportunity, I guess, so early on in my career to get up and have that moment on stage. It was like the most amazing experience ever. I feel so lucky to have also done the show on the night that Natalie Portman was hosting. I think she's a total goddess, and she's just, I don't know, I think she's amazing. And it was also just so interesting to see her, because she's quite like a serious actress.
Yeah.
And she does very serious roles, and to see her embody quite like, I guess, just all these funny sketches and her embody all these different roles was just brilliant. I'm so in awe of her.
Well, and when you guys were all together, you with Pete Davidson too, like we were talking about this.
Hilarious.
Isn't he like wild?
He's hilarious. It was so funny. Just doing all those like promo sketches and just kind of getting ready for it was just lots of fun.
Yeah, because I remember he was saying that he was Natalie Portman, and you're like,
I'm like, what is happening?
I guess I'm Pete.
I'm like, and I'm Pete.
Well, cool. You know, we wanted to just kind of break down some things and kind of see, you know, like delve into you more and kind of give the fans a little bit of like a background on you.
Okay.
Like it's kind of like as far as when you first started in music and what was your inspiration? Like, what made you want to do music?
Well, I guess to begin with, my parents really inspired me the most. My father was a musician, and my mum and dad always listened to music around the house. And I guess it was always just such a big part of my life that I felt it was a bit inevitable that I fell into this as a career choice. I just never thought it was real. You know, I would see so many of my favorite artists on TV, like Pink and Nelly Furtado and, you know, Christina Aguilera and Destiny's Child and all these pop princesses, where I was like, this is so cool. And, you know, watching them on TV was so interesting, but I just never really, I couldn't really quite come to grasp that it was like a real job, real career. I guess I was so young, so it seemed as like far-fetched as cartoons on TV, you know?
Yeah.
And as I grew older, I guess I always loved singing and performing. And when I moved to Kosovo at the age of 11, and, you know, I felt like there wasn't enough opportunity over there like there is in the UK, that's when I was really, really driven to kind of move back to London and just focus on music. And that was the thing that kind of got me here.
That's so cool. And do you feel like having that influence, the Albanian and Kosovo like cultural background, do you think that's kind of like come into the music that you're doing right now too?
I think that whole experience definitely has created, you know, has shaped me into who I am today. I think a big part of, you know, who I am as a person comes across in my music, and I want it to be as honest as possible. I don't necessarily think that there are like Albanian and Kosovan influences in my music per se, but I feel like a lot of my life comes through in the songs.
Well, you're doing fantastic.
Thank you.
Absolutely fantastic.
Thank you so much.
So in your song Hotter Than Hell, what was the inspiration behind that?
Well, that was a past relationship I was in where I guess somebody made me feel like I wasn't good enough, and I went into the studio wanting to write a sad song.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I was feeling sorry for myself. I was upset about the situation, and I wanted to basically, I guess I kind of hit a wall, and I came to a place where I was like, I don't want to feel sorry about myself. Like, I shouldn't be thinking about this guy, and I don't really want him to know how much he's upset me.
Yeah.
And then I wanted to flip the script in order to make it seem as if I had the upper hand, and it was very therapeutic for me to write, because I felt like by the end of the song I'd come out a much stronger person.
Yeah, very empowering too,
and
yeah.
I felt a lot more empowered. And although like the lyrics sound quite, I guess, sassy and very like sure of myself, at the time I wasn't feeling it at all.
It's kind of fake it till you make it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And now when I perform it, I no longer think of like the person and how that person made me feel, but I think about how that song kind of changed me.
Yeah.
And it was also like the song that really dictated what the album was going to sound like. It was the first kind of eureka moment, really, where I was like, okay, I can see where I'm heading, and it was the first song where fans would reach out and be like, oh, this song made me feel really empowered and made me feel good. And then I was realizing that by being honest in my own music and wanting to, you know, tell my own story, and all, you know, by telling my own story and finding that therapeutic, and I was helping others, you know, get through their own stuff, I felt like I was doing the right thing. And yeah, so it kind of that kind of, bless you. Somebody sneezed in the background. I can't help, it's like autopilot for me.
Yeah,
someone sneezes,
you
I'm like,
do it.
Bless you.
It's definitely ingrained in us. So, and I feel like this kind of was like, this led up to like new rules in being able to help a lot of women, because so many women out there look like at that song as empowerment for their own situation,
right.
And not to let guys like pull you back in when you know it's a relationship that you're like, I should not be dealing with this.
Right.
You go to step number one, rule number one.
Exactly. But I think that the most important thing with that song, and the thing that I wanted to really convey with the video, was, you know, what I got from it, and what I do when I'm dealing with like a breakup or an argument with, I don't know, with a friend, or something happens at work. Like, you always turn to your friends and to your close ones for like consolation and guidance, I guess, in a way. And you always hope that they're going to be there, kind of steering you in the right direction, basically. And I guess, you know, that's it's one of the reasons why people were able to relate to it, because I don't think that I'm the only person that turns to my friends for help, and that everybody does the same thing. And it I guess the song essentially is quite a sad song. You know, when you think about it, it's quite sad. It is about heartbreak. It is about kind of going back to someone who is essentially quite toxic and doesn't love you back, you know? But when you kind of flip it in like an empowering way to show that, you know, that no matter what, if your friends are there to kind of help you out, you can change anything into having a positive meaning.
So outlook on
outlook,
things.
exactly.
And your friends are always going to be real with you. That's the thing that I love. Like, no matter what, they're going to tell you straight up. They're going to be like, come on, you knew better. Like, don't go back to them. Don't deal with that.
Exactly.
And you're a great person. You don't have to worry about people like that. So I wanted to ask you too, is this your first time in Salt Lake City? You've been here before, or Utah?
This is my first time performing in Salt Lake City.
Oh, you're going to have so much fun.
I'm really excited.
She's going to have a good time.
I'm really, really excited. I can see there's like fans outside the window. I literally just climbed out the window to like wave at them.
They went insane. They went crazy.
They've been waiting for a while. And it's not that warm outside, so it's so sweet of them to wait for me. But I'm really excited about it. I think tonight's going to be lots of fun.
You're going to kill it. And I have one more question too. So how was it working with Martin Garrix? Yeah. Like, that must have been crazy.
He's amazing and so humble and hardworking and a total sweetheart. And it was just so much fun. I guess one thing that I love doing with collaborations is working with people that don't do what I do, because then I can kind of bring my own thing to the table. And, you know, working with an electronic producer and DJ like Martin, who's so talented and is actually quite driven by the songs and the music behind it, was just such a wonderful experience. And it makes it all the better when, you know, you're doing the videos and you're doing the performances, and they're so warm and lovely, and they're surrounded by a really good team and people, and everything's so great.
And you've been able to work with two Martins too, I guess, Martin Garrix and then Chris Martin from Coldplay.
Yeah, I worked with Chris on one of the songs on my album called Homesick that we wrote together, and that was just such an amazing experience, I guess, to work with an artist that you admire and that you've been listening to his music basically my whole life. So yeah,
you did amazing on SNL with that too.
Thank you so much. I'm glad you couldn't tell that my little knees were shaking.
No, you were great. You're fantastic.
Thank you so much.
Well, we are so excited, you know, to be able to have the opportunity to be here with you.
Thank you. That's so kind. Thank you for taking the time. I really appreciate it.
It's our pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you.